Sklar, host of the Social ROI Chat. We had an awesome one today. I'm here with our special guest, Julia McCoy. Hey, Julia, how are
Hey,
you?
Alan. Good. I'm so excited to be here and to be with your amazing community. You're
Wasn't
the
that fun?
Manage Flitter is the presenter? Is that how you put
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yeah, Social ROI Chat presented by Managed Flitter.
Yes, it was so much fun. It was so busy and engaging. It's an awesome community.
It is a wonderful community. I am just so lucky to be a part of it. I love hosting it. I love running it each week. And we have a really great team of people. And you know all about chats. You have a Twitter chat that you've been hosting. How long have you been hosting your chat?
Since January 2016. So we just
Okay.
crossed the 2-year mark. Yeah.
Awesome. You've been doing it a while. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. And we switched to that once a month about, I want to say 60 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second month we've been doing it. So that was a tough decision. But every week, your chat reminded me of our chat because of how busy it is. Like, you can't, if you need a drink of water, you can barely get up and get it.
I know. I know. It's like, should I wait? I don't know if I can run quick enough to go get a drink
Right.
of water.
I
It
was
is a
wrong.
very fast moving, fast paced, wonderful community. It's a great chat. I'm so glad that you were our guest today because we had such a great topic. But before we dive into that, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I am Julie McCoy, the CEO of Express Writers. I have written 2 books. They're behind my head. This one is So You Think You Can Write, and this one is Practical Content Strategy and Marketing. And the second one goes along with a course that I published last September, created and launched that then. And at Express Writers, what we do is we create content. So we are working with thousands of businesses by now in the last 7 years of building this brand, which is just still blows my mind every day that we get to do what we love with so many people. I love that.
That is
It's
awesome. I love it. You have such a great story. I mean,
great.
starting this business, building it up to what it is today, you are definitely an amazing success that anyone that wants to, become an entrepreneur can learn so much from you.
Thank you. Well, I feel the same about you. You have like so many projects running. Like, I didn't even mention I have a podcast, the Twitter chats. I'm probably forgetting something, but you're the same way.
I know we're both the same. Like we're always like running so many different things. There's actually a podcast that Kevin Garber, CEO of Managed Flitter, that him and Kate Frappel run. That's really
Oh,
cool. And, like I just love that we're like
wow.
surrounded by cool people on Twitter that are also podcasters. Super cool.
Yes, I feel bad wearing this shirt. My website is better than yours because that's not true.
That is funny. I love that. It's a great shirt.
Thanks.
Well, that is so perfect, for today's topic. The topic is turbocharge your sales with social media. And you had a lot to say about this. You were just like firing off those answers. I loved it. It was like awesome watching you respond to all the questions.
Oh,
So
thanks.
this is great. So we're going to go through some of the questions and have you share your expanded thoughts on
Okay.
it. Although you were saying a lot in your tweets, but I know we can definitely get more out of you. So that's what we're
Well,
going to do.
secret, I did write some of those tweets today, this morning, and I kept going, and I'm like, how many should I stop at? And I had like 2 for each answer, and I'm like, I should probably stop there because I
Oh
can write
yeah, they
on.
were good. Yeah, it was a lot of information. You pack a lot into your tweets.
Oh, thanks. That means a lot coming from you because you are amazing at that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So let's dive in with question number one. Let's start with the basics. In your opinion, what defines a strong social media presence?
Hmm. That is a really great question. For me, and thinking of who we've worked with, our brand, that really comes down to having the fundamentals right before you even go to social media. So what does your brand stand for, and who is it that you're trying to reach? Knowing those things, as simple as that sounds, is so important before you start, posting every day on social media. And that can be answered with a lot of research and asking yourself, what makes me different from my competitor, which is a big question. We try to ask ourselves that in staff meetings at Express Writers almost weekly. Like, why are we different than a competitor? Why is our client going to stay with us? And that is the basis of blogs, tweets, Facebook. It's huge. It's a base to go off of. So once you have that foundation, everything on social media gets so much easier, in my opinion.
I love that. Very well put, for sure. Let me ask you a question. I mean, like, did you ever grow up to think you were going to be running this company and doing the things you do and, working with awesome people? Like, did you ever have an idea that this is how your life would turn out?
That's such a good question. Wow, I don't think I ever thought about that. I mean, I'm writing my memoir. I'm writing like the backstory.
Yeah, I heard about this memoir. That's going to be fun.
Thanks. I'm so excited about it. It's a very lively, crazy story. Well, I grew up in a really intense environment. It was a religious cult, pretty much. And my dad and mom really frowned on independent thinking, but they also encouraged intelligent thinking. And I'm thankful for the second part because they taught me how to work hard. They put a lot of responsibility on me. At 13 years old, like, I was paying for most of my bills, buying my own clothes at 13 and 14. So I learned from a really young age how to be super responsible, but I can tell you, I never once dreamed I would be leading a company. Like, I really wanted to be successful, but I didn't know how to define that.
Yeah. And interesting, like, this path you've taken and where you've gotten to today, where, a lot of people look up to you as this successful young entrepreneur. I mean, that's how I see you. It's like, it's amazing to me that, like, I look at all these, like, younger people, because I'm a bit older, and seeing them, like, just crushing it in their businesses. And it's like, wow, at their age, they have so much in front of them. And I think it's just like, there's like nothing you can't do. That's the way I see it.
Gosh, that's very inspirational. It does feel like that. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I mean, I didn't become an entrepreneur until I was a little bit older. I did not start when I was really young. I never had the thought that I could ever be an entrepreneur. It was really when the internet started and you could see the potential of using it to build a business. And that was how I broke into entrepreneurship. Um, I just think it's awesome that the internet and the way it's evolved, and now even with social media, allows so many people to become an entrepreneur and do their own thing. I think it's just amazing.
Yes. I love that too. That's incredible.
Now, going over to question number 2, and I really love this question. What tips and tricks do you have for growing your network on social media?
Yes, that's a great question. Well, I think one of the first things I just thought of as a really good answer, and this is for people at any level, whether they're beginner, super advanced on social media, whatever level they're at, is joining a Twitter chat. There is so much community inside one Twitter chat, and just interacting with the guest expert, the host, the presenter, that gets you so many connections, and even the participants that you really like. And then following those people, and generally they'll follow you back, and then you can start an offline conversation. And for me, like, that's how I've met some of my favorite people on social media. Like you and Zala, those people are just amazing, and I met them completely through a Twitter chat. Like, that's how we connected. So Twitter chats to me are like just as good as a conference, a college class, and I've been to both of those. So they're epic. They're amazing.
I've had so many college professors have their students come on the social ROI chat or the Twitter Smarter chat and use this as a way to learn. And I never thought of it as like a classroom, but it kind of is. There's a
Yeah,
lot of learning going on.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot we can learn when there are Twitter chats with special guests and sharing very insightful topics. Um, let's also look at let's go over to question number 3, another interesting one. Is it necessary for your product or service to be relevant to your social media audience, and why?
That's a good question. Like, you're going to get some opinions on this one. Well, to me, I mean, knowing what I know and selling through Express Writers, content services, it's super important to us as a brand that we sell and we maintain on our blog, on our social media. We keep all of that relevant, because if our leads, following those breadcrumbs from Twitter, from Facebook, if they don't land on a service that's relevant to those breadcrumbs, I think they're going to bounce. And how else do you prevent that? But you keep what you offer, whether that's a program, a service, a course, a book, that list goes on and on. Keep that relevant to your social media presence. What you tweet about, those things are critical. And I see this especially in influencer lists. It's really interesting that those are based on data where people are mentioning what they are doing. So if you are a content marketer and you've made it to an influencer list, that's because you've tweeted about content marketing, which is relevant to what you do. So you don't make that list unless that happens. So there's data there that supports, I think, that you really have to keep those things relevant.
Right. And you have an online course you develop that is very relevant to your business. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, definitely. Well, so the content strategy and marketing course, that's what it's called. I developed that and launched it last September. It took about a year. I researched the biggest questions that our clients had. I asked them, what would you want to see in a course? And they basically gave me on a platter the framework of what to put in the course, which was epic.
That's awesome.
So, yes.
I mean, sometimes it's right in front of us. We just got to be looking for it, right?
Yes, so true. And I'm like, oh, I can check that. I know how to do that. I've been doing that for 6 years. This is awesome. So yeah, that was amazing how that all happened. But that course I had the idea that January of 2017 when a client of ours who we've interacted on social media quite a bit, he called me one day. He's like, can you come down and teach our office content marketing, what you know? And I'm like, well, I can't do that because I don't have a curriculum developed. I want to have a syllabus ready to go and material. But that gave me the entire idea. And I realized after researching and doing a survey that it was extremely relevant to our clients and what they were needing. And since I had done it for 6 years and I had foolproof strategies to teach, I felt like, okay, if I'm going to do this, now's the time. So last year that happened.
That's awesome. I love that. I think having that ability for people to learn from you through a course is so great. And I think that's awesome that you did that. Now, this kind of ties into our next question, number 4. People can often be skeptical about online purchases. How can you use social to prove that the value of your product or service, like how do you prove that value?
That's a great question. I think that all comes down to building trust on social media, which you are a great example of that. Like you've been doing this for how many years?
A long time. A very long time.
But you've been building that trust so consistently, tweeting every day and interacting. and being there for your Twitter chat community. And to me, like, that is what it's all about, instead of just blasting, here's my product, here's my service, here's my book, here's whatever I'm selling at whatever cost. I mean, if that's all you're doing, you're probably not going to sell as much as if you take the other approach, which is building trust every single day, talking to your people, and just making that a daily habit. That's critical. I mean, that's what we do at Express Writers. That's what I've done with the course. And I have to say, when I launched the course, I mean, sometimes you could be so worried about sales and that's all you see, that, you know, you go into those murky waters of just broadcasting. And there was a period I did that, and I realized, okay, my Twitter feed is not as engaging. I don't have as many notifications happening. So I took a step back, and this was like 10 months ago, and I've like cut off probably 90% of my promotional posts. I still do them carefully, but not as frequently.
Yeah. Very smart. Let's jump over to question number 6. From your experience, which apps and features are best for selling products and services on social media?
Ooh, that's a good question. My initial reaction to that was how we go about tweeting and interacting with people about our services, and it's all human based. Like, our favorite tool is Meet Edgar, and we've used Buffer, and there's other great tools out there. Agora Pulse, a lot of my friends love that tool. So
Managed Flitter is a good one.
Absolutely. Yes. So picking the tool you like and getting comfortable is really important, because that just takes out some of the day-to-day work that, you know, you can delegate and not risk losing reputation. Like, that's easy to do, is to put it in a tool. But if you are writing the tweets, don't automate that. Don't, you know, that would be hard to automate the copy for a social post. But that's something that you have to write yourself or get a team member to do. That's critical.
Yeah, definitely. This is such a great topic. I feel like we can talk about this all day. You know, you have shared so much today on the chat and now here on our after chat. I really appreciate your time with us today, Julia. What are the best ways for people to reach out and get in touch with you if they want to, you know, learn more about what you do? You're doing great work at Express Writers. What's the best way for them to get in touch?
Definitely Twitter.
Surprise, surprise.
Right.
I'm going to post a link in the comments here. So if anybody wants to shortcut, they can get right over to it.
Awesome. Yes, Julia E. McCoy on Twitter. And I'm also active on LinkedIn, Julia McCoy on LinkedIn, and Instagram. And those are my top 3 platforms. So those above, and Facebook, you can also follow my Facebook page at Julia McCoy. Twitter, you can tweet to me anytime and I will answer.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Julia. We really appreciate your time with us today here on the Social ROI Chat, and we'll definitely stay connected. Well, I always stay connected with you out on Twitter, and hopefully everybody else here will do the same.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was such an honor to be on Social ROI today.
Oh, thank you so much. It was an honor having you here with us. So thank you. And thank you to everybody watching. We appreciate you. For some reason, the comments are not really showing today, and I don't know why, but I see a few of them on Facebook, but they're not showing up here on our program. But it's all good. We appreciate everybody that's watching live and for those watching the replay. So we'll see you back next week with another great chat.
See you
Bye,
guys
everybody.
later. Bye.